The number one show I know that we all agree on is Break the Bank with Lerk and Deion.
Welcome back to another episode of the Break the Bank podcast. This is your boy Lerk. As always, I'm with my guys X and Deion. I can't even say as always because it seems like lately we either all unavailable or there's only two of us available. But what's good, my guys? How's everything?
Chilling, bro.
Yo, let me see that hoodie. That shit fire. I feel
It's
like you
Fashion
had
Nova.
that
I'm
before.
surprised you ain't see it.
Done.
Yo, I knew I recognized that shit from somewhere.
I'm about to
Yes.
say, you know that
IG
man
feed.
X is the Fashion Nova aficionado.
Yeah, they make you type in like your preferences or like I forget what it was, but they make you type in stuff about yourself. This was the first thing that popped up.
Yeah,
I recommend it.
I was waiting for the 4 train the other day and I seen a poster for Boohoo Man and I just immediately thought about X.
Yeah, son. That's where I get my fat people jeans from, son. You know what I'm saying? You won't catch me out here all wide legged.
I don't know. I was in one of the group chats earlier. I saw something about medium-sized pants.
Well, not you know.
Yeah, Charles is foul. Charles,
Yo,
I would
the
be
way he
honest-
went to defend himself and just immediately stopped.
No, because I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a good shot.
I don't know where Charles from, but his dynamic is more like how we are than anybody else in that group. He's foul.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit. He's from like Tennessee or some shit.
Yeah, listen, you black from Tennessee, you seen some shit. One way or the other.
Speaking of Tennessee and being black, DeAndre Hopkins just signed a 2-year, $26 million contract with the Tennessee Titans. Deion, let's start with you. What do you think that does for the Titans? Because if I'm not mistaken, Tannehill's still the quarterback. And if it's not him, it's that bum that the X is in love.
Malik Willis. I had no idea he signed that. When did this happen? Today?
This was a few days ago.
No, okay.
This is like a day or two. I say like 3-4 days tops. He signed a 2-year, $26 million contract with the Titans. I forgot how much is guaranteed, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it do for them. What I will say, like, I'm at the point in my football fandom, I think, where I'm damn near fantasy football first, betting second, actual football third. It does nothing negative for his fantasy football stock. We've seen him dominate with dog shit.
Not true. Not true.
Oh,
I mean, he didn't really do much when he got to Arizona.
Because the thing is, Tennessee, first of all, Tennessee is run first. You know what I'm saying? And like in Arizona, near the goal line, they throw him those fades. They're not going to do that in Tennessee.
But if you bring that safety down the way they do against Derrick Henry, and you're just going to leave DeAndre in one-on-one, like he might not get the touchdown, but he's going to have 10 receptions, 100 yards.
But the thing about DeAndre is like, he's not like, he can't take the top off the defense anymore. Like he doesn't really get separation. He just makes contested catches.
But
that's why
those
it's so
jump
important.
balls, he's going to win at least like 70% of them shits.
That's why it's so important for him to be a one-on-one.
Have the cojones to throw those 50-50 balls. Pause.
No, that's Tannehill's problem. Is that's all he has.
Yeah.
That's his problem.
All Tannehill has is 50-50 balls. That's hilarious.
The boy has nothing up here. He got nothing up here. And DeAndre down there somewhere. That's all you're gonna see.
X, how you feel about the signing?
I want him to go somewhere else, honestly. But if it was between there and New England, I'm happy that he went to Tennessee as opposed to New England because Mac Jones stinks.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I forgot that he was a free agent. Like I forgot he was released. I could have sworn he was on the team already until I saw that he signed the contract with Tennessee.
Be honest, I thought he was on the Chiefs. that shit just made so much sense to me.
Honestly, yeah. But I don't know if they had the salary cap room for all that.
I mean, it seemed like he had a good reason to hold out. He was trying to get paid. $26 million ain't nothing to scoff at. It's nothing like his last contract, but that's still good money for a guy who didn't even play the full season last year because of suspension and hasn't been the producer that he was in Houston. So shout out to him. I don't think it really does much for the Titans. It might, I mean, he should be good in fantasy. He should be able to get you some bread on some props. I think he scores more touchdowns than X going to give him credit for, though. Like, I think in the red zone, with teams trying to hone in on Derrick Henry, everybody's already expecting run. Now you got that big body in the red zone that could help you out.
Bro, he gonna have a bunch of 6 catches for 72-yard days. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, I won't be drafting him, but I think he's gonna have a solid season. It's not gonna be nothing eye-popping or that's gonna be like, oh shit, look at what Nook is doing, but it's gonna be better than what you seem to be expecting.
truthfully, I'm just jaded because I have him on one of my dynasty teams. I was hoping he'd go somewhere exciting so I could trade him, but everybody seems to be down on his value because he's going to Tennessee, so he's just not the asset that he was in dynasty. But I don't know. I think the conversation to have is a Saquon conversation.
I mean, that was what was up.
Wait, real quick, just because I saw. Who is this Bobby Out Top chick that interviewed Drake? Who is that?
So
I don't know, but I went to a page and she be interviewing everybody.
Yeah, like she got Mark Cuban on her podcast Thursday. Yeah. That's why I'm like, yo, who is this chick?
She locked her TikTok when it got to 1 million. So she's had 1 million followers on TikTok and she locked it. But I know you watch Barstool. You know that one dude who does like the deadpan interviews? He has
Caleb Presley.
Yeah. Yes. So she's like the female him. It's like the same tone. But the people who don't know her, like, oh, like what she's a culture vulture. Like, no, like she just does that. But the people who are doing the interviews, they're in on the joke. They understand that that's the tone of it. But if you don't know her, you're like, yo, this is an awkward conversation.
I don't know. I was watching. I watched a couple of her reels on Instagram, and it wasn't entertaining to me. Like Funny Marco does similar shit that she does.
Correct. Yes.
But it's actually entertaining. Like that should be hilarious as fuck when I watch his videos. I've been watching the clip with him on her show, and I was just like,
bro, it's like between the ferns. Like you ever seen between two ferns with Galifianakis, the dude from
that shit is hilarious. That shit is hilarious.
It's hit or miss. It depends on the guest, and some of it is hit or miss. Some of it's gonna be really funny. The other shit you're gonna be like, eh. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't going front. The clip that she posted with Drake was coming at her for missing her daughter's first birthday to be with him. That shit was funny.
The Tiger shit was funny when he was like,
I didn't see that one.
That shit was funny. Like it was fun. I find her hilarious.
The interview is too long. Like I like the
Well, you watched the full episode.
I didn't because it's too long. But like I watched the Barstool dude because he's like 5-6 minutes. So it's like that type of humor. It's only cool to like. It's funny. Even what she was doing was funny, but it's only funny to be in like small doses.
No, but like even she interviewed Funny DeMarco. Watch that one.
I saw a clip from it.
He flipped it on her, and then she broke character. She was like trying to hide her laugh, but yeah, it's just I
don't know who it was. I don't know who it was, but if you go to her page, there's a light-skinned dude with dreads, and he was flipping everything on her, asking her about the Little Mermaid, and was basically calling her racist for like 60 seconds.
Yes.
And that shit was elite comedy. The way that he just like kept putting his foot on her neck, that shit was elite comedy. But let's get damn, this shit good. Let's get back to this.
Lerk gonna need a drink for this Saquon conversation.
You know I always got a drink. You was just that was you baiting me.
I know I went to work today.
That was you bait. That was the bait.
you know I had to go to work today.
Oh yeah. Shout out to my man Deion coming out of retirement. How could I forget about that?
Hey, you gotta pay the bookie somehow.
Yo,
tremendous.
He said I dipped into my savings a little bit too much. My investment portfolio is looking a little skim right now. Let me go back to being a civilian and contribute to society. But yo, Sequin Barkley, X. Of course, I'm gonna start with you as my fellow Giants fan. I know for the most part we was on the same page about not wanting to pay Saquon.
Correct.
This whole situation a little bit confusing for me because I don't know what's guaranteed with the franchise tag. But even with incentives, he's only getting like $500,000 more than if he would have signed the franchise tag. He decided to sign a contract worth 10-point-something million, $2 million guaranteed, with $1 million in incentives.
It's so they can't tag him again.
No, but they still can't tag him again.
I thought I heard Schefter say they can't.
No, they could still tag him again next year if they want to. They could still tag him next year.
Essentially, what they did is
he
they front loaded it. They gave him more money up front, and then
they only
he
gave
can
him
make a
$2
little bit
million up
extra on the
front,
back
bro.
end.
He got
That's
a
$2
$2 million signing bonus.
It's 2 more than before.
And just more money. It's
I
just
mean,
more money
so-
up front, but
So what do you
This-
think about this whole situation? And then like threatening to sit out and then eventually signing the contract.
here's the thing with the new CBA, he couldn't hold down a training camp because it would have been like 50, 60K per day.
No, he's not under. He wasn't under contract, so he wouldn't be able to get fined.
Either way, the big picture about I found it funny when all the running, like Jonathan Taylor was on Twitter ranting about it. Like, fam, name one big money contract to a running back that has paid dividends. You can't name one. Name one team that is happy they pay Alvin Kamara. No, not really.
Derrick Henry.
Nick Chubb,
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry for sure.
Maybe, but that hasn't translated.
But
to
no,
much
but
success.
see,
No, yeah.
but see, yeah, but I understand where you're coming from. But at the end of the day, Derrick Henry's is the main reason why they've had whatever quote unquote success they've had.
To an extent, but Derrick Henry's also the reason why they couldn't pay AJ Brown. You know what I'm saying? Who is probably going to have a much
The Titans
career.
probably weren't going to pay him anyway. The Titans are notorious for trading away everything but a quarterback or a defender.
But you know when you have to do that? When you're paying your running back fucking close to 20 mil a year. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the Titans' identity is so run heavy that, look, I get it. But, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, come on. Every year we see the Cowboys on salary cap hell because of Zeke.
Well, he didn't get that bag, though.
Plus, you act like Saquon act like he's the poster boy for being healthy. Like, fam, he played, 12 games last year? And we were excited that he got that. So it's like, bro, plus we've seen, even early on when he was playing, like, bro, running backs are luxury. If you build your team around a running back, you're not going to go very far. The NFL is just too advanced for all that. So they don't have a lot of leverage, man. The average length of a running back is 2.5, maybe 3 years. It's stupid to pay them. You can go find value in the 4th round, the 5th round, pay him pennies, pay him $12 an hour. And even if you don't get 100% production.
All right, real quick, I just want to throw it out there. I'm sorry to cut you off, X. I just wanted to correct you that he played 16 out of 17 games last year, not 12.
Even 16. But
he played 16 last year. He played 13 out of 16 the year before that. But we didn't see the same kind of production because he was coming off that surgery. But I'm with you though. I'm of the perspective where show me you could do this again. Show me you can stay healthy again and produce at a high level, and then I'll pay you, bro. I'll pay you.
Not
look.
There's no reason of even. Yo, he could break.
I agree with you. Look, I agree with
him.
you. You shooting yourself in the foot as an organization by paying a running back that type of money, right? Because you could always draft somebody in the 3rd round and you might get similar production from that same running back. But I'm also on the player side when it comes to getting that bread. And if you earned it, you earned it. Saquon brings a lot more to the table than just being a traditional running back. He's our best wide receiver too. So if you show me that you can be durable while producing at a high level,
bro. But what you just said is the problem. Teams get in trouble when they pay for past performance. It's stupid to. I'm sorry, it sounds cutthroat, but it is the NFL, right?
No, I understand what you're saying.
If the Players Association had any power, we wouldn't be in a situation. But they have the weakest player association of all the major leagues, and so guess what? It's the system. Okay, so even if he breaks the Deion Thomas's records, you're gonna sign him to a contract to where you know the chances are he's not gonna produce at that level moving forward. No, there's no scenario.
No, but that's why. But see, you also talking about the NFL where contract's not fully guaranteed. So you could pay him. You could give him a similar contract structure as Daniel Jones, where you give him a 3-4 year deal, but only the first year or 2 is guaranteed, and then you could get rid of him and be good.
But what's the difference of that versus the franchise tag? How much do you imagine they were guaranteeing year 1?
The difference between that and the franchise tag is that after that year, he's gone.
First of all,
not gonna come back.
So look, this is a situation. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get geeky for a second. we barely had enough money to sign our free agent class, right? We were in salary cap hell because there's a lot of that money.
Last year we were. This year we spent mad bread this year,
bro. But you can do if the player's good enough to where you can prorate the signing bonus. It reduces their year one salary cap, right? Now, if you're going to sign Saquon to a contract where a lot of the money is guaranteed in year one, that means that cap hit in year one is going to be substantial. And you need the room to sign him to $18 million guaranteed in year one. If you're going to give him that money as a salary, as a bonus, then guess what? If you cut him after 1 year, now all of a sudden the dead hit goes to year 2, year 3, and that's what the Giants want to avoid. So there's no way for he wouldn't sign that. And the Giants,
but see, that's why but see, if you get rid of him after, because you know the NFL, they always do funny shit where as long as you cut him by a certain day, you don't got to worry about none of that. So look, they did the same shit to Eli when he retired. Like, teams do this shit all the time. Like, you could look, even the shit with Daniel Jones, they only guaranteed the first 2 years, and as long as they cut him before a certain day after that second year, they off the hook for year 3 and year 4. You could do the same with Saquon, but let him show us that he can stay healthy. Let him show us that he can protect our quarterback on third down. And then you get, if he can stay healthy for 2 years in a row, if he can play 15, 16 out of 17 games, 2 years in a row, produce at a high level, why not pay him for a couple years?
Because you need that money to build out your defense and your O-line. And who's the Giants?
But they already started adding to the defense this year. They already signed multiple people to long-term contracts this year. And we're going to be off Leonard Williams' contract in a minute, too.
Look,
they just gave Dexter Lawrence damn near $100 million. They just signed that Nacho dude. They signed Bobby from Indianapolis. All those dudes got bread on defense. And they signed 3 to 5 year deals.
Yeah, because the likelihood is that they're gonna be good for the duration of their contract.
All right, and then you still got your draft picks.
All right, so look, this is what it boils down to.
And come on, we gotta agree at least on this, right? You don't build a championship team through free agency. You don't build through free agency. You fill in holes and gaps in free agency. You win through the draft. You win through select trades. But you don't win Super Bowls by building a team through free agency.
Okay, but I think that's independent of this conversation. Look, we can agree that the Giants overperformed their talent level and where they should have been last year. But
and they tried to build off that.
But like the Mavericks, don't think that we're the same team that we were last year. We outperformed where we should have been.
Yes, you're right. But real quick, unlike the Mavericks.
All right, look, Lerk. Who's our number 1 wide receiver?
Our tight end.
Who, by the way, is no guarantee to be healthy. Who's our best cornerback? Who's our cornerback number 2? Who's our linebackers?
Ain't Darren Waller also like wasn't there like rumors he relapsed last year?
Nah.
I thought that's why he sat that there was like a rumor that's why he sat out like 5 or 6 games.
No. I didn't hear nothing about him relapsing.
I hope he didn't. But
no, because I imagine he would have been subjected to some sort of fine or some shit or suspension.
Well, he wasn't like it was not like drugs; it was alcohol. That's his thing.
My whole thing is, look, man.
Yes, Lerk takes a sip.
Bro, just pay a running back when you're a team that believes that you can win a championship. If you're as far away from winning a championship as we are, it's stupid to pay a running back because so maybe we win 8 games instead of 6.
We're not talking about paying him this year, though. And I think more than I think we went more than that too, by the way. But we'll get to that on another episode. So let me ask you this, X, and then Deion, you give your input on this. You've been out the conversation for a little while. X, let me ask you this: do you want to see Saquon on the Giants after this year?
Not on a long-term deal, no.
Only if it's on the franchise tag again.
I would trade him immediately. I would trade him.
No, you don't want him on the Giants.
I don't think you can get anything for him. I don't think you're getting anything.
If I can get a 3rd-round pick or 4th that turns into a 3rd if he starts a certain number of games, I'll take a day,
That's
2
not
days.
enough for me.
Bro, as opposed to what? He's going to walk next year.
But he
And
said
the
he could be
Giants ain't
tagged
winning
again.
shit. So what's the point of
Yo,
having
bro,
him?
I'd rather keep him for all 17 games than trade him for a 4th-round pick.
I would rather us go 0-17 the hard way, not have his money on the cap, and then be in position to either.
Nah. We gotta go 1-16. 1-16. I refuse to be the first team to go 0-17.
Fine.
I'm with the 1-16 and Caleb Williams in the bag. I'm with that. I'm with the 1-16 and Caleb Williams in the bag. I said that last year. I'm saying it again this year. I hope everybody gets a high ankle sprain and misses the first 8 games of the season, and we go 1-16, and we get.
So why do you want to pay Saquon then?
No, that's only if we was to have success. Ideally, I want to go 1-16. Is that realistic? No.
What's more likely to happen? The Giants win the Super Bowl or the Giants win 2 games? Because I'd argue they're close.
I think it's more realistic the Giants win the Super Bowl than win only 2 games.
That's outlandish.
No, it's outlandish for you to say that.
No, that's outlandish, bro. We stink.
We do, but 2 games is disrespectful to all of America.
But we're the worst team in the division. I don't think it's close.
I agree.
How can you argue?
No, I disagree that it's not even close. I think we're right there with the Commanders. Matter of fact, we're better than the Commanders. Fuck you talking about?
Yeah, you're better.
We're the 3rd worst team in the division. Shut the matter. You on mute. That's it.
When do we hang the banner?
Oh, we don't hang no banners over here unless we get in rings with them. But you on mute after that bullshit. Deion, what do you think about Saquon's contract?
Yeah, I mean, I said it. I think probably during the regular season. I thought the smarter thing to do would be to give him the deal in the beginning of the offseason and you tag Daniel Jones. Because if you gave him a 4-year deal and any running back would take this, right? You give him a 4-year deal that fully guarantees the first 2 years, and then you do partials on the 3rd year. 4th year is probably not guaranteed at all, right? Any running back would take that, especially at like a higher number, get him closer to McCaffrey's number, like 15, 16. And then that gets you through Saquon's prime.
Yo,
it's a nasty.
You know what's crazy? I'm sorry to cut you off. It's just that I know I'm going to forget when you're done. Saquon is only getting 11 mil this year, and he's the 3rd highest paid running back.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the structure of what I thought would be smart to do helps both sides. Because like Saquon gets his money. If you're the Giants, you lock in the guy that really was the only reason y'all made the playoffs last year, specifically offensively, for 4 years. And the first 2 years are essentially the franchise tag. So you kind of you add $5 million, but it's essentially the franchise tag, which is what you're going to do anyway. Like they're going to they tagged him this year. They're going to tag him next year. They're going to keep doing this charade until he walks. Put the position in your power. You franchise tag Daniel Jones. And then if you stink, Caleb Williams is there. If you're good, he's not. I mean, at this point, I guess you just tag him again next year. And if he gets hurt, you let him walk. I don't know. I mean, they're kind of in that weird spot where it's like they're not contenders, but they're not tanking. And that's in sports, that's the worst spot to be in. I think Daniel Jones stinks. I still think he stinks. Nothing's really going to change that, at least this quickly, which is why I would have preferred to use the tag on him if I was the Giants. With Saquon, my hesitancy is position, not skill. That's why if I had to choose between the two, I would rather pay Saquon because at the bare minimum, I know, okay, I'm going in the next year. Maybe it's an overpay, but I have one of the best running backs in the league. With Daniel Jones, it's like, you don't know what the fuck you got. And you just gave him a fat contract. So, yeah, I mean, I don't dislike what the Giants are doing. I think this new regime has been solid. I don't want to give them too much credit because Daniel Jones is still the quarterback. So I don't want to give them too much credit, but they've been solid. So, I mean, if they feel like maybe they feel like they can't replace Saquon still, so a 1-year deal doesn't really hurt them.
And let's not forget, Dalvin Cook is still out there.
No, he's not. Dalvin Cook is a Dolphin. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, okay.
It's just a matter of time.
Okay, you know something I don't.
I know he lives in Miami, and I know the Dolphins won. That one might as well be done, man.
Now, before we get into the NFL previews, X, was there anything else you wanted to add before we move on?
No.
All right. So now, before we get into the NFL previews, this is, it's kind of a good segue too, because it's going to lead into your team. Brock Purdy's back. That was a big concern of when was he going to be able to come back. He's on a bit of a pitch count for now, anyway. But Shanahan and Lynch talking about he's the starter when healthy.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Trey Lance?
Probably done. So what I feel for Trey, because he should be done. He should be traded. He should be able to go somewhere where, like, he should be able to go to Kansas City, where he's able to sit behind Mahomes, who he trains with in the offseason now. They have like a good relationship, and he can learn from him for a year, then get moved somewhere where he has an opportunity. After what happened in the NFC Championship, he's just gonna have to sit on. He's gonna fucking rot on this team, which I'm a scumbag. That's what I want. This kid is way too fucking talented. I personally don't think the Niners should give up on him for Brock Purdy. I would have gave up on him for a lot of quarterbacks. Brock Purdy has a ton of Jimmy G to him. I rewatched the all 22s from the games he played. It reminds me of the 2017 Jimmy G season, where everyone kind of got a little ahead of themselves, and then reality set in very quickly. So, yeah, I definitely want to move on from Trey Lance for Brock Purdy, but I mean, we're going to, so it is what it is.
Do you think there's a chance that Trey Lance can prove himself during this time to overtake that number one spot?
If it was solely up to Kyle Shanahan, I think so. If you listen to Shanahan speak, I think Trey Lance is his quarterback, but unfortunately for Shanahan and Trey Lance, the Yorks are poor. Like,
I mean, maybe it's John Lynch in his ear, but one of the most recent quotes I saw from him, he was pretty much saying that Brock Purdy earned this.
No, he did. Or he has been saying he said that recently. In the beginning of the offseason, he had a different tone, which leads me to I think Lynch definitely wants Purdy. Lynch has made that clear since February at the combine. Shanahan wasn't so clear about it. And the Yorks are broke boys. So Purdy's going to sell a shitload of jerseys. And he's good enough for whatever they're trying to do. Like, I don't believe this team actually wants to win a Super Bowl anymore. So Purdy's good enough to do what they want to do.
X, what you think about the situation and what it means for Trey Lance?
I disagree with Deion. Look, I think the Niners are roster-wise are one of the more talented rosters. And because of that, I don't think that they need a star quarterback to win. Enter Brock Purdy, hence signing Sam Darnold, so that if something happens to Purdy with his elbow, Sam Darnold stinks, but he's more ready to win you an NFL game today than Trey Lance is. But I think the smart thing to do would hang on to Trey Lance for one more year, see how Brock does. Because look, if Brock comes crashing back down to earth, wouldn't it be nice to have a nice, talented dual threat quarterback that you've been developing for 2 years, to step in next year? So I would hold on to him for another year and off season. I think they would be foolish to move off of him so soon, especially considering, the draft capital they gave up. But if they think it's a sunk cost, who knows? But I would hold on to him.
They're gonna look stupid if they trade it.
I don't think they should trade him. I think it's stupid.
If they were to here's the thing with a guy like Trey. He has way too much natural ability. Yeah, there's a lot you need to work on. If you look at his off-season workout videos, he is working on him and Mahomes and their QB coach. They're clearly working on it. Like his release is much quicker. It's much more compact. Like, he's making improvements. And if you're seeing that and you're and you know how much natural ability he had, that's why you drafted him. And then you still choose to trade him. Let him rot. If he has to fucking rot, let him rot.
We just saw Anthony Richardson get drafted by the Colts in the top 5. And he is not I can't say that he's a better pure passer than Trey Lance is, but enough NFL teams covered him to when he went for it, hey, that's a slam dunk pick by the cost. Because, man, if this guy reaches his ceiling, and nobody's expecting Anthony Richardson to be anything for at least 2 years, why you would all of a sudden expect Trey Lance to look like a finished version of himself after 1 year is foolish. You drafted him knowing it was a long-term bet. Sit him on the bench, develop him, and I think ultimately that's what's going to end up happening because I wouldn't trade him for anything, unless somebody wowed me. You know what I'm saying? I think a smart team would trade for him.
I wouldn't trade him. I hope he gets traded for his sake because Niner fans are racist. We saw that with Cap, and the ownership's racist. Yeah. And the ownership's racist. Like it is what it is. Like I don't think this is a good place to land if you're an African American quarterback, especially one with flaws like he does. We knew Jimmy G stunk, and they gave him every fucking chance possible, right? Like this kid started 3 NFL games in his career, and they're already writing him off. I hope he gets traded for his sake.
Yeah, there was one other quarterback in contract I wanted to talk about. I forgot about for a second before we move on to the over-unders. This is a quarterback that I think I'm a bit higher on than y'all two. Justin Herbert. Today, he agreed to a new contract extension with the Los Angeles Chargers. 5 years, $262.5 million. I believe this makes him, on average, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Just slightly over Lamar Jackson. Now, I know y'all hate this dude. Y'all was shitting on him. Y'all was both shitting on him.
I hate the coach.
But look, Herbert, just want to throw a couple stats out there that I saw on ESPN earlier when the article came out about the contract. Through his first 3 seasons, he has the most passing yards in NFL history, the most completions in NFL history, the 4th best QBR in NFL history, and he's the only quarterback besides Peyton Manning to throw for at least 25 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons in the NFL. Did he deserve this contract extension?
Deserve? Probably not. Did they have a choice? Like, no.
No, they didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice. Like
that wasn't the question.
Did Lamar deserve his deal? Probably not. Did Deshaun deserve his deal? Probably not. Patrick Mahomes, I believe, has the 8th or 9th highest average annual value, like on his contract now.
Yeah, that 10 years $450 is pretty amazing. But we all know he's not gonna play through that whole contract before he gets.
But all I'm saying is if you make more than Mahomes, you do not deserve that. So if we're gonna use the word deserve, my answer is gonna be no. But the hell else were the Chargers supposed to do?
Okay, you're right. So
and Burrow's about to get more.
Similarly, X.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, that's just the price of a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you a better question. Let me ask you both a better question. Justin Herbert, 5 years, $262.5. Jalen Hurts, 5 years, $255. Lamar Jackson, 5 years, $260. Of those 3 contracts signed by the quarterbacks this offseason, which one is going to age the best? Which one is going to age the worst? X, you go.
Herbert. Herbert is going to age the best. Worse, I think Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar.
I figured we'd all be in agreement with Lamar.
I think Lamar ages the worst.
On the Herbert, but I think there's an argument for Hurts to age the best because he's a dual threat. At least he's developing to a dual threat. He was a better passer last season.
If I'm answering right now, I don't see how you could say Herbert doesn't age the best. Just because he's a pocket quarterback, right? Like he's essentially a finished product. You know what I mean? Like you've seen what Herbert's going to do, and he's going to do that for the duration of the contract. We could be talking 2 years from now. I think Hurts has the potential to be better than Herbert, though. So
I agree.
like that one's a bit up in the air. I definitely think Lamar is gonna age the worst. So like I don't think that's really close.
And I
he might
think when
have
we
the
say
most
age, it's just who's
guaranteed.
less likely to get hurt. And of the three, it's Herbert, just because.
Well, I mean, is that and you automatically think that way because 2 of the 3 are mobile quarterbacks. But it's
Correct. Yeah.
also, but I know it ties into it, but it's really more so production and on-field success and most likely to win a championship first, I guess.
If all three suffer the ACL injury tomorrow, Hurts and Lamar Jackson anywhere near as dangerous. If they lose, look at Dak Prescott, right? He suffered those lower leg injuries. Now that he's not dual threat, we've seen that he's not that type of pocket passer, right? He's shown that consistently. We keep waiting for him to wake up. He doesn't. So if all three suffer an ACL injury, I'm more confident that Herbert can give us what we saw pre-injury than the other two. So that's why I say he has the best bet to age well. But I'm not saying he has the highest ceiling because I think of the three probably Hurts.
Yeah,
I would
for sure Hurts. I think it's for sure Hurts with the highest ceiling. But I think I'm with you. I think it's Herbert that is most likely to age the best. Now, of the three, who is not saying that any of them will win one, but if you had to pick today of those three, who wins the championship first? Herbert, Lamar, or Hurts?
I think. Listen, it's Hurts because like
he has the easiest path to the finals.
The NFC stinks. Like the Eagles are about to run away with it again, right? Like Niners players can say whatever they want. Like we were down 7-0, Eagles had the ball. Like when Purdy got hurt, you know what I mean? Like say what you want. Like it wasn't going our way. Could that have changed? For sure. It always helps to have a quarterback, but nothing's a guarantee there. If anything, you would lean towards the Eagles in that one. And they continue to get better. They're mad young. They killed the draft again this year. So
they have the best front office. I think in the league, they probably have the best front office.
Besides Kansas City.
I mean, you can look like the best front office when you got Mahomes, right?
12 teams, including the Eagles, didn't take Mahomes.
All right. So they're a top 2 front office in the league. But the way that they work the salary cap, watch like in training camp, you're going to see a bunch of players that you're like, wait, he was still out there? Signed with the Eagles for 1 year, $4 or $5 million, right? And they're able to do that because they always have salary cap space. They never had a bunch of dead money in the books. And so they're able to retool on the fly. So I think that if they continue to build this team around Hurts, man, I mean, I'm a Giants fan, so it pains me to say this, but the Eagles put the fear of God in me moving forward because they got Hurts, they got a good defense, they got pass rushers. I mean, they just got a couple things to fine tune, maybe like cornerback and safety, and man, that's a scary fucking team.
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes went nuts. That's why they lost. Like it's not like we saw the Chiefs beat them. They got beat by one man, and Mahomes can do that whenever he wants. Don't get me wrong, but he's not going to win the next 10 rings. And
their offense also stalled out too.
Sure, but the one Mahomes loses is going to be to Philly. Like if he doesn't get there, Philly can beat anybody else besides Mahomes.
And I think playing Mahomes takes you out of your element because most teams, you want to establish a run. If you go 3-and-out, you trust your defense. You want to keep the ball away from Mahomes, and you kind of feel the pressure to score. So I feel like sometimes that takes teams out of their game plan and what they do best because they feel like they need to kind of like match firepower with firepower. And so, I don't know. I just think if they would have had like a different game plan, maybe that game goes a little bit differently.
So since we're on the topic of Mahomes, we'll start with the Chiefs for the over-unders. We're going to do the AFC West and the NFC West today. Next week, we'll move on with 2 more divisions. Last season, the Chiefs went 14-3. Right now, they listed at 10.5. I got the over. I think that's easy money.
We never got to talk about it. Over.
Yeah. 10.5.
10.5.
They play like 17 games.
That as soon as we hang up.
Yeah. Hold on. They play 17 games nowadays.
No, I'm sorry. 11.5. I don't know why I said 10. 11.5. I was looking at the 49ers. My bad. Initially, I was gonna start with the NFC West, but we was talking about Mahomes, so I said, "Fuck, let's start with the AFC West." I was looking at the wrong one.
I was putting on my
Chiefs had
401k.
11 and a half, but 12 wins in 15 games still seems like easy money for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. That division stinks too.
Like anything less than 15 seems like a lock to me. We talking about Mahomes. Unless he gets hurt and misses like 5-6 games, I don't see how they lose 5-6 games.
I'm gonna take the over because I'm looking at the early. I don't think they lose till like maybe week 11.
That's what I'm saying. Look, they play Detroit, Jacksonville, Chicago, the Jets, Minnesota, Denver, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Dolphins. Then they got a bye week. They play the Eagles, the Raiders, Green Bay, Buffalo.
So do 11. Hold on. Do 10 games. I got 7 locks. So give me the over, please, and thank you.
Yeah,
I'll take the over too. Has Mahomes ever not won 12 games?
I'm not sure.
Like that feels like a given.
Damn, that's something I gotta look up, but I don't feel like doing it right now. But yeah, 11 and a half seems like light work. Then we got next up in the AFC West. The Chargers went 10-7 last season. They at 9.5 right now. So pretty much the same as last year. They got bad luck with injuries. They got an aggressive coach that don't give a fuck about the situation of the game. So it could go either way. But this is a team that, I respect Herbert and what he does on that field. I think Austin Eckler is a beast. I'm going to take the over 9.5.
Is Eckler playing?
The only running back that I heard that hasn't showed up is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna take the under.
Bro, the Chargers are gonna charge it.
9.5 wins.
I'm gonna take under.
Under 9.5.
Yeah, I hate that coach.
The new one?
Wait, who's the new coach?
The dude, Kellen Moore, right?
Wait,
don't they have a new offensive? He's the offensive coordinator. I don't know if they have a new head coach though.
Wait, if Kellen Moore is the new offensive coordinator, wasn't he the offensive coordinator in Dallas?
Yeah, he was.
All right, I'm gonna take the under.
This is why
terrible play caller.
This is why I make fun of Herbert because it's everybody else's fault but his.
Kellen Moore's a terrible play
you guys
caller,
are already
bro.
setting it up.
I ain't setting shit up, bro. It's just that I know from watching Dallas, bro. Like, Dallas's offense was limited by injuries and their play calling.
When Dak was healthy, it was fine.
Nah, because they could have been putting up crazier numbers if they had a better play calling. And I didn't say it was only play calling. I also said injuries too. So next up we got the Raiders.
Under.
What's the line?
6.5.
Under.
I'm gonna take the under too.
Under.
They won like 4 games. Then the Broncos won 5 games last season.
I'm gonna take the over. I don't even know the number. I'm gonna take the over. I like the Broncos. Yeah, I like the Broncos.
I think at least 10, 11 games with Sean Payton as the head coach in the play.
I like the Broncos, yeah. Over.
I like that. I think they win at least 10, 11. They at 8.5. I think that's easy.
1 second. Let me take a look at their schedule.
You know what? I didn't even do that, to be honest.
Because I'm right on the fence.
I just thought about the fact that they got a real coach. Russell Wilson is healthy. Jerry
is healthy. The hell was he last year?
You got it.
All right. I'm gonna take the over. They got a soft schedule. Lerk, you going over under?
I took the over. I think they win at least 10-11.
Oh, that's
They
a
play
lot.
the Raiders week 1, Commanders week 2, Dolphins they probably lose. I ain't gonna hold you. The Bears they got that. Jets they should win that, but they might lose that. Chiefs they losing. Packers they got that. Chiefs they losing.
They play the Chiefs tough though. Keep
Yeah,
that in
but
mind.
I don't think they win.
Yeah, you never know though. You never know.
You're right. I
I'm
mean,
taking
I'll
over
probably
because they
take
played
them
the
on a
Raiders
backdoor
twice.
cover. I'll take them on a backdoor cover because Mahomes don't like to cover spreads. He just like to win rings. But all right, so we all got the over on that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the NFC West. We're gonna start with Deion's 49ers. So Deion, you go first. They went 13-4 last year. Undefeated in the regular season with Purdy as the starting quarterback. They had 10.5 wins, and he's expected to be a starter moving forward. What you got?
It's a really bad division, so I like the over. Well, it's tough because if Stafford's healthy, I don't think the Rams are as bad as everyone thinks they are. You still have Stafford.
Well, it also depends on what Cooper Kupp is looking like too, coming off
right.
that.
Stafford and Kupp have to be healthy, but if they are, which they weren't at all last year, I don't think the Rams are that bad. But if we're just looking at it, on paper, definitely.
I mean, we're gonna get to the Rams, but
no, I just mean like when you look from like a glass house, like the Rams aren't that type of team, right? So I'm gonna take the over based off that. If we go to week 6 and it's like the Seahawks, Niners, and Rams are all battling for the division, that wouldn't sell me at all.
Well, yeah. Start the season against the Steelers, and the Rams, both on the road, and then you play the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Cowboys at home.
5-0.
That 5-0.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think Purdy's as good as most Niner fans think he is. Niner fans will go for anything that's white and checks the ball down. That's the only criteria they go to. He is better than Jimmy G, which is all I've really ever asked for. So I'm gonna rock with him. I'm gonna rock with him because of that. But I will see. Tommy John ain't no joke. He didn't have a strong arm before. You're definitely.
He ain't really get Tommy John surgery. He wouldn't be cleared for all activity.
Well, he did get Tommy John, but he got a brace put in. He didn't need the full reconstruction. It was only partial. But either way, if they're cutting your elbow open, you're gonna lose velocity, right? Maybe he's not gonna lose velocity in the same way he would have if he got a full one, but he's gonna lose some velocity, and he don't really got that to lose. It's not like he's Mahomes who can lose a tick or two and still have the strongest arm in the league. He was a bottom half in terms of arm strength, and that's only gonna get worse.
So what about Rocket Arm Trey Lance? Do you see him starting a game this season, even without Purdy getting hurt?
If they were smart, what they should have done was announce Purdy needs to miss the first month. Because when the doctors first came out, they said they didn't think he'd be cleared until the end of September. So that buys you 4 games of Trey Lance to figure it out. And if he plays the first 2 and stinks it up, those 40%, it's a miracle Purdy's healthy again, right? If he plays the 4 well, then you can use the Tommy John as a reason, hey man, this quarterback, I'm sorry, he just couldn't play. His job got took, right? And I think it would benefit Purdy a ton to have that extra time off too, just coming off an injury like this. I don't think you should rush anything like this. Not saying they are, but it certainly doesn't feel like they're taking their time either. So, but the answer is no. I don't think he starts.
So you got the over though.
Yeah, I don't like it though.
10.5 is not too bad. I think personally the 49ers have a good enough team around the quarterback on both sides of the ball that it don't necessarily matter who's your quarterback as long as he's passable. As long as he's a serviceable QB or close to it. We saw it with Jimmy G. And
no rings.
We talking about just the regular season though.
Nah, I understand.
Regular season wins.
Yeah, I understand.
Regular season wise, between the skill positions, the defense, and the coaching staff, they got enough to still win at least 11, 12 games. But
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is McCaffrey gets hurt every other year, right?
so this is the year he gets hurt.
Debo gets hurt every other year. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna get injured, but there's a lot that could happen to this team. And my beef is that they don't have the quarterback to where none of that matters.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
I love the under. To your point, I don't think McCaffrey plays the whole season. I think Sam Darnold is going to start games for this team, and that's not a good thing. So I'm taking the under.
So here's
Yo,
my
once
thing.
you mention Sam Darnold, it's like, all right, bro.
So here's my thing. Like, Niner fans talk about Purdy like he's the second coming, right? Like white Jesus, because we all know Jesus isn't white. But then on the same time, like, you talk to any Niner fan and they're like, yo, Darnold might start. The fact that that's a conversation tells me everything I need to know about Purdy as a player, right? Like, why is he the quarterback? If we can have that conversation, and here's my thing. Don't ever, like, in an argument like about quarterback, don't ever bring up when he was drafted. You don't start the game with 10 points because this moron was Mr. Irrelevant. You know what I mean? Like, it's still 0-0. You could be the number one pick, you could be the last pick. It's 0-0 when it gets started. You don't get anything extra for that. So the fact that it's a conversation is why I don't believe in Purdy in the slightest. But he is better than Jimmy. Darnold might be too.
Next team, we got Seattle Seahawks. They went 9-8 last year. Right now, they at 8.5, which is
way over,
right where they was at last year.
Way over.
You think they did that much in the draft? I think they had a really good draft, but
what's their odds to win the division?
I'm not sure.
That I like them to win the division. I think they're the best team in the division.
10-4 is a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Geno's good, right? Like, Geno's a good quarterback. Pete Carroll has a full year with the roster. That's, he's a great coach. Not that.
Yeah, odds to win the division, the best odds you could find right now is at plus 210.
That's not that good. That's not that good. I would sprinkle them to win the whole NFC though. Like, if you probably bet Niners, Eagles, and sprinkle them type of thing. They're really fun good. I like the Seahawks a lot.
Like over under?
I got the over.
Over.
I said that already. We still talking about the 49ers, right?
Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks. What was it? 8.5? Yeah. I think they definitely at least a 10-win team. I don't think this division is that good. You look at the schedule. They play the Lions, the Panthers, and the Giants all within the first 4 weeks of the season. They should be able to win all three of those games and at least start off the season 3-1 because they open up the season against the Rams on the road. If Stafford and Kupp are healthy, they probably lose that game. But then they got the Cardinals on their schedule, the Commanders, the Cowboys. They might lose to the Cowboys. Titans, they should win that game. I don't know. Yeah, they should at least be able to win 9-10 games. At least. I don't know if they make the playoffs. I think they missed the playoffs, but 9-10 games seems reasonable. Next team we got in the NFC West, the Los Angeles Rams, 5-12. Deion, you were talking about that they might be better than we think. Over-unders at 8.5 right now. Plus 110 for that to hit. And their odds to win the division is plus 1,000. Best odds you can find.
They're not going to the division. I like the under.
8.5. You just talking about they're gonna be good.
No, I said they might be. We have to see it. I have to see it. If I'm going based off from a glass house looking down, under. come back week 4, week 5, I could be saying, yeah, they're going to win 10 games. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to bet the over on a team whose 2 best players essentially missed last year with injuries.
Well, Aaron Donald's their best player, but I understand what you're saying.
Eh.
8.5 seems like a lot. And if I got the 49ers...
Defensive tackles don't move me like that. He's a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong, but where were they before Cup and Stafford?
You're right.
Got it.
Now, I got the Seahawks going over and the 49ers going over, so somebody's got to be under. I got the Rams going under 8.5 wins. What about you, X? This is your team a couple years ago.
Under lock.
Okay. Last team in the division, and we're going to end it with this one. Cardinals went 4-13 last year. Over under right now is 4.5.
Over. Kyler's going to play, right?
Yeah.
At some point. Over.
Under. They stink.
They do. Kyler can get 5.
Done.
Kyler can get. I ain't saying they're gonna do anything special, but Kyler can get a couple.
I'm not a Kyler Murray fan.
I'm not asking him to win 12. If he can get 2 or 3, the other guy gets 2. You're at 5.
I'm not convinced the Cardinals believe in him long term. I could see them. If shit is ugly, tell him to like sit out so that they can draft Caleb, and then they can trade Kyler. But yeah.
Well, I don't know. Who's they quarterback right now? Cause
Cole McCoy.
Yeah, they might. I don't know that 4.5's not a lot, but they might hit the under.
I don't know. It depends on if Kyler's back. If Kyler misses 8 games, I think they get 5. If they go 2-6, you know.
Deion,
what I mean?
You're a gambling addict. Who's Clayton Tune?
No idea. Northwestern?
Who's David Blau?
He was on the Cowboys, right?
Clayton Tune went to Houston.
Okay. Yeah, that name sounds familiar. Blau.
I don't know if he was on the Cowboys. No, he was on Detroit.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who their QB is.
So,
I know.
No. Colt McCoy is their starting QB. You were right about that. But if he gets hurt, which has happened a lot in the past in his career, that's who you got looking to come off the bench.
Well, I'm just saying, if Kyler plays,
I'm gonna go under 4.5.
If Kyler plays half the games, I think they get to 5.
But I don't know, because Kyler, we don't know when he's coming back. He should be back during the season, at least. But we don't know when he's gonna be ready. And it's an ACL injury. We were just talking about mobile quarterbacks and the ACLs. We all know Kyler can't get through his progressions. That's not gonna magically happen now. I'm gonna take the under 4.5. 5 don't seem like a lot, but it do for the Cardinals.
We can talk about Jaylen Brown.
Oh, that contract was ridiculous.
So deep, man.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I think the greatest tweet of all time might have happened after that contract got signed.
Ben Shapiro.
I don't know who it was. The tweet with the video of the Emmanuel.
The dude with no left arm.
Yeah.
What did Shapiro tweet?
Yeah.
He said, imagine what he'd be worth if he could dribble if he could dribble and go left.
I thought he was gonna tweet something like, well, imagine what he'd be worth if he was white.
So pretty much somebody tweeted the same thing in video form and said, this is Jaylen Brown going crazy on the NBA after his new contract extension. And it was the kid with no left arm just going crazy, dunking on everybody.
Yo, my son hurt, yo.
Who we talking about? The dude with one arm?
No, my bad. I'm watching Man United versus Wrexham. And James Mullen, they brought out a stretcher.
Are you talking about a dude on Wrexham?
Yeah.
Then nobody cares.
It's only one of the most highest rated docuseries on TV, but you're right.
Docuseries, yeah. And what's the ratings on their games? Exactly.
You can't even watch your games and people still watch
So
the
you
show.
wearing a baseball hat with a soccer jersey on right now. We not even gonna talk about nothing.
You wearing a hat that your man from down the block printed in his living room. Don't talk to me
Nah,
about
this is embroidered.
Tell me the new era. Please do not feed the horse drugs.
Yeah.
Yo, look at the dust on that.
Son, I just went to Ben Shapiro's timeline and he tweeted the Celtics thing. 2 tweets later, he retweets, "I'm not horrified by the fact that the U.S. had slaves and fought wars of conquest." What?
Who starts a tweet like that?
Yes. That's who X came on. You're talking about the best tweet.
No, because that was like, when the worst person you know makes a good point. But now, about the contract. I think fans are stupid. Yo, the Celtics gave this motherfucker $300 million, bro. They were always going to give him a max because they had to give him a max. If you're not going to trade him, you're going to give him a max. And that's just, fans don't realize the max are tied to a percentage of the salary. So like, oh my God, why would you pay Jaylen Brown like he's the best player in the league? Like, bro, do you not realize that that's just how shit works? Like, I hate casual NBA fans, man. Sorry, stupid rant, but you know what I'm saying? But it's not ideal, but what you gonna do? The Celtics have no choice.
Yeah, I like my honest take on it is genuinely I feel bad for the Celtics, right? Like it's gonna be the worst contract in the league because someone of Jaylen Brown's talent is not gonna qualify for the Supermax. This is an anomaly based off a ton of injuries in the league last year, right? Like there's a ton of dudes like John Morant, who is an easy Supermax player, who is not because of his own doing, whatever. But like, there's a ton of dudes that didn't get one that should, and then because of that, that means someone's gonna get one that shouldn't. And unless Pascal Siakam makes an All-NBA team next year, which he probably won't do, like this is gonna be the worst contract in the league. But what are they supposed to do?
Nah, he was gonna got the chance to get the Supermax because he'll have more. He still got years left to qualify.
Nah, because he signed already. He just finished his fourth.
But that's just a rookie extension, though.
No, it kicks in this year. He just finished his 4th year.
But what kicks in is his rookie extension.
Right. Well, he can make a super. 4 years from now, John Morant can make a Supermax.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I'm saying.
But like this contract's not a Supermax. It's just a regular one. When it should have been
because he had the incentives on this one, right?
Right. But it should have been a Supermax. So, I mean, it stinks for the Celtics. It's a blessing for Jaylen Brown, and it is what it is. The question is, does he see the contract out? My answer is no.
With Boston, you mean?
Well, yeah, he sees it out. He won't be on Boston.
He's getting traded. But it's funny because as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yo, this is the worst contract since Russell Westbrook.
Russ's was a lot better. And I'm not a Russ guy, but
I mean,
I don't think Jaylen Brown's like a top.
When you look at
the salary cap hit, it's
similar.
Yeah.
Look, when you look at the salary cap hit,
it is worse.
It's similar to those contracts.
It is worse. Like
because of the new CBA,
but when my thing is like,
bro, he's gonna make $70 million in his last year.
My thing is like, I don't think Jaylen Brown's a top 25 player in the league, and borderline, I don't think he's top 30. So it's like, I don't find like at the time of the signing, yes, Russell and Beals aged poorly, but at the times of the signing, I would say they were both like firmly in the top 20 players in the league. Now, do you want Russell or Westbrook or Bradley Beal on your team making a Supermax? No, you're gonna fucking stink the way the Wizards, Thunder, Rockets all did with those players. So I don't know how you look at it, I guess.
This might sound stupid once it leaves my lips, pause, but I think the opinion about Brown's contract has a lot to do with Tatum too. If Tatum was like a superstar, then yeah, whoever the number 2 is, you pay him whatever it is because you know you got that number 1 guy. But because Tatum isn't really a number 1 like that, then it's like to pay another guy Supermax who isn't going to be a number 1 either, and you know can't be a number 1. It's like, oof.
Let me ask you this. Based
Like,
off
does anybody know what Chris Middleton made? No one cares, right? Because they got
No one
Giannis.
cares.
he
Yeah.
had like
No one
20, he
knows.
was making like 25.
Nah, he was
Did
making like
anybody
40.
care?
He was making 40.
He made a lot of money. Did anybody care?
Right, so,
No.
but look, let me ask you this, right?
Does anybody care that
This-
Jamal Murray had signed a max contract? No.
Well, they
No
did.
one cares.
That one they did.
Yeah,
But that's
a lot
because
of people did.
people
At
But
the
that's
time
only
he
because-
signed it.
that's because people hated Jokic for a long time. Like no one wants to discuss that.
So yeah, so let me ask you this
But to
though.
my point, now that Jokic is standing as
Yeah,
a
no one
champion and that guy,
So
no one gives a fuck about
so
Murray.
look,
no
you
one
talking
cares.
about you talking
No one cares about
all these
Draymond,
dudes, right?
Clay, Wiggs. No one
Correct.
cares about because of Steph. No one
Yeah,
cares.
Correct.
you're right. Now, if Tatum had a number 2 with a left, does Tatum look more like a number 1 now that he actually has a supporting
No.
cast?
No.
No.
It's because neither one of those, they're good for creating their own shot, but they don't make their teammates better. That's the problem. So now the teammates have to naturally be better around those two because they're not making them better. You know what I'm saying? You put that same Boston team around Jokic, bro, they're gonna look fucking phenomenal.
I mean,
they got
Jokic
Jeff
is
Green
different.
looking phenomenal with
Jokic is
Denver.
different.
Why?
Jokic a different type of dude, though.
But that's what I'm saying. Put him around. Put Luke on the Celtics. Take off Tatum. Put Luke on the Celtics. That team.
I
Is
think
better.
they win less games.
I disagree.
You're bugging. You get the absolute most out of Brown, the most out of everybody on that team if Luke is on that team. You know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
know if the defense is going to be as good.
Because of Tatum? What?
Yeah.
That's fan fiction. I watched Gabe Vincent. I watched Gabe Vincent tell Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo to go stand in the corner. He got Tatum on him for a game winner. he cleared out.
And Tatum
He
is
cleared
the
out the
team guarding like the other team's third best player because they got Smart, they got Brown guarding the best two, and then they got Tatum guarding like the third best wing. Like, fuck out of here.
You know, that was fan fiction.
That's fan fiction.
That was, I mean, there's certain players that get a reputation for playing defense, and then there's certain players that play defense. And Tatum, at one point, deserved his reputation. He, at the moment, does not. Or specifically last season, did not.
There were like 2 possessions against KD that year that they played the Nets that he like blocked KD. I was like, nobody blocks Kevin Durant's shot. Tatum is all world defensive. And then he's been living off that for like 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't buying it. But yeah. Celtics have no choice, but what are you going to do? It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That one stinks, man. It's one of those ones where when he made the All NBA team, like I just like kind of like clinched up because I'm like I know it's about that. Like Sabonis, that Sabonis contract stinks, but he was eligible for the Supermax, so it's like it's kind of a steal because it's like damn, we only had to pay 30 M's for a guy that really fucking could have got 40, 50, but that contract stinks.
But who was going to give him the 40 in free agency? Who you betting against?
But if you're the Kings, right? Like if he hits free agency next year, you know what I mean? Like he would literally go anywhere versus if the money's similar versus stay there. Jaylen Brown, the unfortunate part or the unspoken part is no Supermax, he's gone. Right? Like he's staying because of the extra 120 million. So the Celtics don't have a choice. If they offer the regular max, he'll be living in his Atlanta home in a year.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he'd be out of there. And that's why they had to do it. They didn't have a choice. Like the name of the game, right? Like he leveraged his way, which he, by the way, earned the fucking right to do it. I'm not mad at him at all for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did it though. You don't really got a choice.
You don't have a choice.
No. You had absolutely zero choice but to sign him to that extension. Now, what happens after that is a different story, but you don't let the guy leave for nothing. And
it's not like
whether it's Atlanta or somebody else, there's gonna be a team that's a sucker.
Listen, a max contract, super max, sign under what you want. Like that team ain't winning anyway. Jaylen Brown and Tatum are not going to win together. So it don't really matter. You give him a super max, you keep him intact, you sell a bunch of jerseys. Some point, like we just got to remember, not every owner's out for the same goals.
X, was there anything else you wanted to add to that?
Nah, I'm just desperate to get back to my air conditioned room because I'm dying.
To have an air conditioning room, it's crazy that I'm the most impoverished dude on the podcast. And
No, bro, I had to go to
like
Walmart and buy a window AC unit, and I felt
the
so
fact
poor.
that you sounded poor saying that, like, I could see the disgust in your face and how your veins is crawling with fucking.
I've been more
like,
comfortable at Walmart
just
buying
saying
like
that.
tampons and shit than I was buying a window unit AC in the year 2023. Like the shame that I felt. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
crazy.
everybody just looking at me like,
That's crazy.
like you smell like poverty.
I hope one of your neighbors put fucking cement in your pipes and you can't take a shower for a week.
Do them window
was-
shits work? Because like
It
where I grew up-
does. It does
I'll-
in my room.
Yeah, like the bay, you don't really need it like that.
See, but he was so upset about it that he bought the cheapest one he could find, and that shit is like 50 BTUs.
No, I bought the 10,000 BTU.
He had to move his bed to the front of the air conditioner just so he could feel it. That shit ain't
I got the
in his room right now. This nigga got a wet towel hanging in front of that shit.
Nah, son. And then when my daughters was here, their rooms is like 1,000 degrees. So, bro, they sleeping in my room. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the only cool place in the crib. So then we all thirsty, like, yo, who gonna need a room to go get a cup of water? I'm like, I'm not stepping into that fucking room. I'm like, yo, I'm your father. I will whoop your ass. Go get me a cup of ice water. They're like, yo, I'd rather you whoop me, daddy, than me have to go sweat downstairs. I was like, you know what? Fair. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we rock, paper, scissors for that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's, huh? I won. The little one had to go. And of course, she brought me back like a shot of water because she's petty. She's like, you didn't tell me how much water. I'm like, you petty. I like that. You my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
I respect it.
Yeah, it was gangster.
I respect it. That was fire. She gave you a little sip. It was like,
because before that, bro, I was pouring water on my mattress like Jadakiss. You know what I'm saying? Just to survive through the nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, shit, just.
Yo, this man really living worse than me. That's crazy.
Bro.
On that note, we could wrap it up. I feel a little less impoverished for the next 30 seconds.
Yes, son. Boxing debut next summer.
Heard it.
You?
Yeah, I've been boxing the last 2 weeks.
Yo, he's in the super featherweights.
Yeah, 125.
Some been jumping rope for 2 weeks and now he feel like he could go pro. Yo,
no, first off,
I will fly and I will be a cut man for your first fight. I promise.
I'll need that.
Yo, word on the life of my daughters. The first fight you have, I will be but I don't even need to be. I'll hold the bucket for you to spit your water in.
I put that on my kids. I give it 1 to 3 punches max that Deion take before he throw the fight.
No. So I sparred. So here's my thing. There's a dude in my gym that's training for the Olympics. I want to spar him. They won't let me spar him. But so
they know he gonna break you in half.
And that's what I want. My thing is like, I've always been this way. If I get my ass kicked and then I show up the next day, motherfucker's in trouble, right? But if I get my ass kicked and I quit, then I know like I wasn't really into it like that. You know what I mean? Like it's all cool when you
break
just like
3 ribs.
I'll be all right. Like I got no cartilage in my knee. I ain't worried about pain. Like I ain't worried. When I walk, it sounds like
say this. That till you cash that fucking liver shot that Ryan Garcia caught, and you're gonna be singing a whole different tune. I ain't worried about you getting knocked out.
So I sparred. So that they wouldn't let me spar because they're like, you got to wait a month to spar, blah blah blah. So like the second week, like this dude brings his kid in, like it's like a 21-year-old kid. He like dropped out of college, troublemaker. His kid talking shit. I'm like, this is my fucking chance. So I start talking shit to the kid. They let me get in the ring with them. And I think, so we did 3 2-minute rounds. The first minute, I didn't throw a single punch. Yeah. I was like, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, there was the hesitancy to throw because it's like, there's someone throwing back for the first time. You know what I mean? And then I heard him take a deep breath and he threw like a left hook that was super slow, ducked underneath. I hit him with a liver shot. He said, I said, all right, bro, it's on now.
Yeah.
That's,
You
bro, I
just
knocked him
start
down.
letting your hands go wildly. You probably landed one punch
Oh,
clean, but you threw 1,000 punches. Hey, it looked good on the cards. You know what I'm saying?
I knocked him down 4 times. It was the second or third time his pops goes, get your bitch ass up or go to school.
Yo,
Bro,
yeah,
I was dying.
the fact that you knocked dude down 4 times, I'm surprised you ain't get locked up immediately after leaving the gym. Because knowing you would have walked downtown and just randomly just mushed somebody just because you was on fucking cloud nine.
So I went to these MMA fights, like Uriah Favorite, these like local like minor league promotion MMA fights. I was sizing everybody up. I seen Uriah Favorite at the lobby. I said, yeah.
Yeah, he was.
I was sizing everybody up.
This man got a death wish.
Bro, I want to get my ass kicked one time to know if I like it or not. Everything's easy, bro. Like I remember the first time I got my ass kicked in hoop. The fact that I didn't go home and eat, I went home and I immediately went to the park to go get shots up. That's why I know I fuck with this sport. First time I got my ass kicked golfing, I went back the next day. I fuck with this sport. Everything's easy when things are going good. I want to get my ass kicked because I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's 50-50. I might quit. I might not. I don't know.
How'd you do with pickleball? Were you good at it?
I was good at it, but it was like I'd rather like go against someone like you, like your age. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like going against the old guys.
Yeah.
It was just like they were better than me, but they can't move.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just can't move, and it's not their fault. So I can't even
put
be
a
mad.
drop shot over them, and they're cooked.
They're cooked, and it just felt too easy. I do fuck with pickleball, but like, I mean, I was telling Lerk this, and this is honestly a good podcast combo. Like, mental health shit, like the whole like therapy ain't for everybody. So I needed to find something else, and boxing was what I was like. My uncle did it because he deals with like PTSD type shit too. So he started doing it, and it worked for him. So I was like, fucking, I'm gonna try. And like the last 2 weeks been way better than honestly anything was going before.
My mood ever since softball started back up has been infinitely higher just because I get that release. I can go be fucking Draymond for an hour, fucking let out all that competitive rage, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just kind of storing all that fucking emotion, and I just go yell at somebody, drop a fucking fly ball, and I'm cursing the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So
and helps. Like hoop don't do it for me the way it used to because it's too easy. Like in my adult league, we'd be stalling everybody out by 20. That shit ain't fun. And then the soccer game got canceled on Sunday. I was sick.
I meant to ask you about that. Yo, you're about to get humbled.
I am.
All right. Can you take an iPad or a phone? Can you just live stream it, please?
I gotta see the first, like, I'll put it like this. When I stepped foot in the boxing gym, I was more confident in my ability to box without ever putting gloves on than I am about playing soccer. Because like all three of us have been in fights before. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, A, I know I can take a punch. I've been jumped plenty of times to know that. And B, I know I can throw one. I've never played a sport. I've never touched a soccer ball.
How competitive is it co-ed or is it all men's?
No, it's all men. So, I mean, I can't speak to like how competitive it is like nationwide, but it's the most competitive basketball league in like my county. So we have dudes there's dudes on my team like literally just got home from China playing in the Chinese basketball league. There's dudes on the other team.
The soccer league.
No, but I don't know the soccer league, but if it's anything like the hoop league, like it's got to be similar. Like we got dudes that most people are XD1, D2 something. You at least played varsity in high school. Like, so if it's anything like the hoop league, it's going to be pretty fucking competitive. I'm not going to lie.
The threat of actually losing you need that. Because we was playing softball, but we was blowing teams out 21-2 every week. Then we went to the league where they have former like collegiate baseball players. I feared for my life at third. That was the first time I was ever like nervous. It's like it's just a fucking beam being fucking shot at you. And I gotta catch it and throw this fast motherfucker out. Thankfully, I got a cannon, but it was bang bang. You know what I'm saying? Normally, I'm out there like fucking A-Rod in his prime, but
see, I'm looking forward to it, bro, because like we've played in the hoop league on and off for like the last like 6 or 7 years. I won't explain why we had a few off years, but it was definitely our fault.
Your fault?
It was mostly mine. It was mostly mine. There's a few fights I got in. But
I can't
like,
wait for you to get nutmegged, yo. I just like I need that in my life. I need you to get I need a motherfucker to kick the ball off your shins like Pele and then cross you up and score. Like that's what I need.
But see, the thing about me is when it comes to sports, I'm a sicko. I live for that. Like I want that. You know what I mean? Like I don't like AB, man, athletic bastard. That's my nickname. Adrian Broner style. Like everything comes too easy. Yeah, I love the shit that comes hard. Like that's why I fell in love with golf. So like I genuinely mean it. I want to get my ass kicked in basketball. I want to get my ass kicked in soccer. And like, let's find out. Like softball,
And you
I
want to
played
get
in
your
one
ass
game. We
kicked
won
in
like
boxing.
9-0. I never went back. Never went back.
So you want to get your ass kicked in basketball, you want to get your ass kicked in soccer, and you want to get your ass kicked in the boxing ring.
I'm not gonna get my ass kicked in basketball, unfortunately. It's just not gonna happen. It's like unless you play in the league, like it's just not gonna happen.
Okay.
Well, in a 5-on-5 setting, 1-on-1, I mean, if we're being honest, like the two of you are tall enough to where y'all could take me potentially.
So we'll wrap it right there. Deion had the most humble comment of his life when he said that last year.
I'm still baffled by it. So let's just end the fight. It said unless you're in the league.
Yeah. In a 5-on-5 setting. In 5-on-5, but like that's real hoop. Like, I mean, if the three of us were to play 1-on-1, I would ask to play rules that y'all have never even dreamed about playing basketball with, right? Like, but if you like, I'd be like, yo, 2 dribbles, no rebounds. You wouldn't want to play 1-on-1 like that. But if we did unlimited dribbles, you're just gonna back me down to the paint, right? Like it is. Right. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.